We do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome back to TVI, episode 235. Carl Donnelly here.
Julian Deane. Hi.
Hi. This is a studio. We're trying out a new studio, mate.
New fresh studio.
New fresh studio.
Some young entrepreneurs.
It's nice in here, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's a coffee shop at the front.
Yeah. And it's quite comfy though. It's weird just being on a sofa.
I know.
It feels a bit creepy. We're going to make you nosh me off.
You won't have to work hard, mate.
Yeah, I think if there's a guest with us, it would be less weird. But I think just us two on a sofa. It was like, I've sort of gone, do you want to come back tomorrow for a coffee?
Yeah, man. So, yeah. You got anything to drink?
How did that become like the go-to? Do you want to come back to mine for a coffee? How did that become the go-to saying for like, do you want to come back and bang?
Do you want to come up and be me too'd?
Like, it's an old who's having coffee at 11 p.m, midnight?
Yeah. I've never done that line really, though.
I remember once.
Is that what you do when Hannah's out?
Every time I'm away at gigs every weekend, just do you want to come back to my hotel room for a coffee? I would never ever do that. It was disgusting. But I definitely remember in my younger days. I remember once inviting someone back for a tea. I don't know why. Just like that was the.
I've done that one though. That line, yeah.
What
like a specific tea.
Like a peppermint?
Yeah, exactly that.
Really?
I've said that, yeah.
You creep. Why peppermint? Had it come up in conversation?
Just because it was a bit of a joke, I guess.
Right, yeah. But it's just weird that that's how sexually repressed people are.
Yeah, and they say no.
Yeah, and then you say, do you want us to come back and knock boots? And they're like, yeah, right, yeah, cool.
Yeah, no peppermint tea though. Knock boots.
Do you want to come back and absolutely leather right into each other? Oh yeah, cool, man. Let's do that instead.
I feel all out of sorts in the new studio.
It feels weird, but that's why this is a test, isn't it? We just thought we'd try it out, see how it sounds, see how it looks. We might just move around a bit, try out a few studios, innit?
Yeah, we will.
Because
I thought you meant move around this room.
You could just I
might bend over there for a minute.
Yeah. I've got to get fully naked. You'll be fully clothed.
Yeah.
What's that? That clothed? Is it clothed female, naked male? You ever heard of that?
No, it sounds.
No, me neither. No.
No, of course not. Who would even say that?
It's a genre of porn.
What, the man's naked, the woman's clothed?
Yeah, and often there's more than one woman.
Vulnerable.
So it's a naked man and often a number of clothed women.
What? So if he feels a bit humiliated?
Yeah, there's a humiliation to it.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that though. I'm too self-conscious. But my big willy.
But I wouldn't be into it. But I can totally see the appeal. Do you know what I mean? There's some kinky shit that I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't get the appeal. Like bondagey sort of rubber stuff.
Being hurt, yeah, or like face masks.
Yeah. Like them ones where it looks like you're just an inflatable sort of balloon guy.
Yeah, they're all right.
But no, I look at them and I don't get the appeal. I don't even know where that kink would come from.
What, they're being tied up and tortured and stuff?
Yeah, sort of.
No, getting horny.
No, but tied up I get.
Not me being tied up. I'd like to tie you up.
No, but I can see the appeal, even though it's not for me.
Yeah.
But in tied up, but bondage not so much. Piss and shit stuff, not all.
Oh, it's delicious. That's just brunch.
No, I think that's.
I call that first base.
Yeah.
But the tied up thing is like. I mean, some men like it, I guess, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's more like a woman's thing, I guess, isn't it?
I reckon it's. I don't know. I used to know a dominatrix She used to be like just a regular.
But she might not have been into it. That was her job, was it?
No, but she said like it's the amount. All her clients were just men who like was quite successful men who wanted to get tied up and
yeah,
bashed.
it's always like them CEO types, isn't it? That
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to get trod on and humiliated.
I suppose it's got to be that thing of they're so powerful.
Yeah.
Like they feel untouchable in their job, so they need someone just to
I'm like
wallop
that, yeah.
them.
I'm untouchable.
But yeah, what was I saying?
Well, some
but
people like the nappy thing. That's quite common,
that
isn't
one's
it?
bad. That's a bad one. I'm sorry.
That's definitely some childhood trauma stuff, isn't it? But I think I think sexual kinks come from a kind of childhood trauma-y stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
There's a way to release it. You know what I mean?
But that's maybe I had a decent childhood in that case because I'm not freaky at all.
You're just like shitting on people.
I don't think I've got any trauma. I just like having somebody shit in my mouth. Is that odd?
No, that's normal.
Yeah. That's a really happy upbringing.
Yeah, you went to a really good school.
No, but I don't.
You had good Christmas times, man.
But I'm not into any kinky stuff. Most vanilla bloody.
I don't think I am. I'm vanilla, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think I'm just lazy. I think I'm just a lazy man.
Yeah. But clothed female, naked male. So that one is one I totally understand. I've never tried it, but I can imagine it being quite fun.
With your will, it's just completely naked.
You're fully naked. They're fully clothed. It's meant to make you feel. It's meant to make you feel insecure.
Yeah, it would work.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel insecure already when I'm
feel insecure thinking about it.
But I think I definitely would feel.
Because they've got the power, haven't they?
Yeah, I suppose
they could just boot you out of their house.
Fully naked. Because I don't know if he'd mind me saying this. I'm sure he's talked about it when we did a podcast together. But Trevor Crook
murdered 3 boys. He don't mind you saying.
No, but he used to be.
He's talked about that, isn't he?
Yeah, he used to be into it. I think he told a story when we did babysitting Trevor about how he had, like one time he basically something he did with a lady where he was naked on a bed and he knocked one out, but she just sat in the corner fully clothed reading a newspaper, and the whole kink was that every now and again she'd look over the paper and just shake her head.
Yeah, I could try that. I mean, I could try reading the paper.
What newspaper was it? So I've just got I'm autistic. I need to know. Yeah, that one's funny enough that it'd be quite. I couldn't do it myself. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, it's quite like I've always there's an element of like flashers and those.
Yeah. But now it's all like they can do it online. Flashes, I guess.
But that thing
we can do it. I mean, they can do it.
People that send videos of just like horrible, like out of the blue, like to celebrities of them just knocking one out.
Yeah. They get a kick out of shocking them and stuff, don't they?
Right.
I guess.
But that's such
a. I guess.
Yeah, I joke it, but I just I don't know where it comes from. But what I was actually going to start with today was
it's a power thing, I guess. You're getting a reaction from Beyonce.
Because obviously we talked quite a bit about moon landings on the last episode.
Oh yeah, and it opened up a debate on the TVI WhatsApp group.
A lot of people
available.
Thinking you've gone down the rabbit hole.
I think I have a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I think I'm erring on the side of it being bullshit, but not extremely.
Is that the only one that you've, or is this a sort of a new?
I mean, 9/11 didn't happen. I don't know, really. I think
9/11 though. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, there could be a conspiracy where, they let it happen. Sort of the government were involved. I'm not saying that's out of the question, but what I always find weird is when people say like, the towers couldn't have come down like from planes hitting them. It's like, I reckon they probably could, like a fucking jumbo jet.
Yeah,
I'd
be interested to see
definitely knock a building down.
Real physicists debate it, and just because it's just rumours, isn't it? Or like you get some faux expert saying it couldn't have come down like that.
Yeah, but I've heard people say,
and physicists disagree with each other as well. But
like
it's more than likely wasn't planned by America anyway.
Yeah,
it was definitely planned.
It wasn't just a couple of guys having a laugh.
Did the wrong left turn twice.
I accidentally hijacked the plane again.
Oh no!
But when they say like, "What? Oh, you can't just knock a building can't just come down if you fly a plane into it," I think that's definitely a possibility. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think most buildings are designed to withstand a jumbo.
They're
jet
saying that it wouldn't have fallen straight down like that, like with the top few floors crushing the whole building.
Well, surely, again, this is two idiots discussing this. But
no, who else is here?
But like, surely the momentum of once that middle bit burns. And the structure goes on.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Does
yeah,
start falling, and I'm surely it would crush the. I don't know. I feel like that's not that out of the question again.
Yes,
people always say like, "Well, you think you could do that?" And I'm like,
I don't know.
In the realms of possibility, yes, I do actually.
Yeah,
and that's not. I'm not saying it's exactly.
They've listened to one physicist say it's not possible, but 99.9% of them.
Physicist is the right phrase.
Isn't it physicists?
Wouldn't it just be engineers talking about it?
No, because engineers maybe as well, but physicists are physical stuff like hitting that, the mass, the force.
Are more into like sort of the makeup of like atoms.
I don't know. I think it's just the physical world.
Wasn't like Einstein a physicist?
Yeah, but he could still have an opinion on. on shitting on chests. But I think physicists is like force equals matter. Like, I'm saying the equation wrong, but like matter times force volume and all that. That's physicists, isn't it?
I suppose, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to Google it now.
Yeah.
I feel like a fucking dum-dum. I feel like the dumbest human who's ever
I'm going to stop preaching on my fake Twitter account now.
Physicists.
I do believe in conspiracies, like, at the top elite level of society, like, people like that. There's kind of, Epstein's Island exposed a lot, didn't it? And
yeah,
I do believe in a lot of that kind of shit, man. There's a lot of pedos at the top getting protected.
I reckon there's.
I just think it's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, I do think there's fucking horrible shit going on right at the top.
Yeah.
But that's always been the case, and that happens like every.
I mean, Partygate was nothing to what really goes on, probably.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also it's that thing. I think someone like Jeffrey Epstein, obviously the whole shtick was, getting powerful people like
on video,
basically, or bringing them in and getting. Suddenly, you've got them in it. If you've flown someone to your island so they can fuck a kid.
I know.
Arguably, you might be able to then control them with that.
And there was so much videotaped and stuff.
So I think there is. I get that there's a purpose to what was happening. But when they get into the sort of like, and then they've got tunnels and they're fucking sacrificing kids, I'm always like this. That gets a bit out.
It's a bit out
into the weeds.
But who knows though? Like, it sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But who knows, man? Human nature's crazy.
But like but also a lot of the times it's people who like. I mean, this is me digging out like my brother or something. But yeah, my brother's into all this stuff, and often like he'll share things on Facebook. Like I remember him sharing something about Marina Abramovich, the performance artist, right?
Oh,
one of the greatest performance artists in the world, most notorious artists.
Is that the one with the one eyebrow? That feminist woman? No.
I don't think she's got. You thinking of Frida Kahlo?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Very different.
Rem went to a school dressed as her for
really?
fancy dress. Yeah.
But so Marina Abramovich is. I think she's Russian, or it's definitely Eastern European. She's like she does like these crazy, challenging art installations and has done forever.
Is she fit?
Well, she was back. Well, she's still pretty, but like,
sort of
she's like in her 70s now.
Oh, is it?
But like she's always done these really wild things. And but like my brother shared a thing. It was one of the things she did, and he was like, this is what celebrities are doing. It's called spirit cooking, and it's when you sort of eat people and it's like, but he has literally no idea who Marina Abramovich is.
But it's like, why does he suddenly there's a lot of people like that, just suddenly believe all conspiracies?
I think it is that thing of once you like, because there's some truth in a lot of them. Yeah. People assume it's all got to be true, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When like sort of,
does he smoke weed?
No, used to though.
Ah.
He smoked a lot in his sort of early days.
think that seems to be a correlation,
Because
doesn't it?
because I smoked a lot of weed in my early days as well, but all it did to me was turn me into a comedian. Whereas, I think it does definitely have an impact. But yeah, I think that's the thing. Once you learn, like, there's a little bit of truth in some, like, obviously something like, I definitely think there was something behind the Kennedy assassination. I've always thought,
I think so too.
and I'm not saying he wasn't shot in the head by bloody Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm saying, like, there was a lot of people in the very top levels of the government who wanted him out, man. He was, like, challenging a lot of their shit.
Because of the civil rights stuff and all that.
Just everything. I think he was a slightly more progressive president than they wanted him to be, like the CIA and all that. So they had something.
Yeah, that's another conspiracy that I'm open to being bullshit, that he was assassinated by just a random guy.
But he wasn't a random guy. Like, he was
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, but he had loads of, like, links to groups and things, didn't he? So
because then someone shot him, didn't they?
yeah, that is another one, that Jack Ruby guy who shot him. When, like, this
What happened to Jack Ruby? Went to prison.
Didn't he get shot?
Fucking hell.
Like, I can't remember. Was he?
People are still getting shot today.
Everyone gets shot.
400 people
was
later.
It Jack Ruby? But basically,
I've got to shoot the 401.
This idea that Jack Ruby was, like, some mad patriot. It was like, I can't believe you killed Kennedy and just shot Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, he was a proper crook, wasn't he? Like,
it would make no sense, because he would go on trial. It'd be televised. Like, that would be way better than just him being shot. They was obviously silencing him.
Yeah,
because the Queen's a lizard.
Wasn't he like just a proper criminal?
I don't know. And also, they did a documentary about, I don't know, there's loads of shit with that in there.
How did he die? Let's see how Jack Ruby died. Oh, no. He didn't. I think he must have gone to prison for it.
Oh.
Yeah, man, that guy didn't.
He was probably paid off, like his family looked after, and he just rid time in some open prison. That's my guess.
Anyway, the questions, though, somebody did ask on the group, who's the biggest conspiracy loon in comedy at the minute?
Me.
Somebody did say it's Julian.
I don't know, really.
Who are the big ones that are into conspiracies? Like Steve Hughes. I remember having a night with Steve Hughes, like, after a gig, where he was just telling me all about 9/11, like, all this stuff, and he was like, when I say he was talking at me for a long time.
But he gets annoyed if you don't quite completely on board.
Yeah,
I remember him, and he's a lovely guy, but, like, a lot of these people, they're like, I've read all the books. I've read all of the books. I've read 100 books. Like, that is a qualification for you to 100% believe what they're saying.
But yeah, who else is Craig Campbell? He's big into him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Alistair Williams, is he still? I haven't seen him in ages. He was into it for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I don't really know. There's like,
I think there's a truth to it all. That's why that they're, but I don't think they've all got it correct.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Often it's, what is it? What's that old? Is it the Occam's razor thing where it's like, there's like, because there's like horrible arseholes running the world, and that's always been the case.
Yeah.
And they do evil shit, and like they obviously, try and manipulate.
All power corrupts.
They try and manipulate elections. We know all of that has just happened. That always happens, because there is truth in that. I think sometimes, it's easy for people just to believe every bit of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think actually there is going to be some little bits of truth in everything.
But the people at the top might even be leaking or creating these other conspiracies to deflect.
That's where you see that in the conspiracy community, where they think someone like, often it'll be like someone like David Icke.
Yeah.
And loads of them think David Icke is like part of it.
Yeah.
He's spreading some bullshit to discredit all the. And so the moment that's when you're like, oh, you can't. There's no way of ever really getting to the bottom.
That Alex Jones guy.
A lot of people think he's fake as well.
He just went on trial last year for he said the school shooting wasn't real, didn't he?
Yeah.
It wasn't Columbine. It was the other one.
It was Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook. That was it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of his downfall, wasn't it? But he has said some stuff.
Here we go. Julian's on the turn.
No, but like about 3 months before 9/11, he did a video saying that planes are going to fly into the Twin Towers.
I don't believe that.
I'll put it on our...
I'll send it to you. I've got it on my phone.
Like he got
got it in my favourites.
He got a lot of things real. Like it was. I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not. But again, it's almost like with him, it's almost like a stopped clock thing, isn't it? Like he's always going to be right. He just talks so much shit non-stop every day.
Yeah, some of the things were like
be right at some point. It's almost
crazy
like law of averages.
accurate, though. Yeah.
But but I think of. Have you ever seen? Wasn't it John Ronson or something went with him to
John Ronson, the author?
Yeah, didn't they become weird sort of slight friends? Because when he wrote a book called Them about conspiracy theorists, and I think he did a documentary.
That. Although I won't read it.
You've still got the psychopath test.
I know.
You literally
I've
been
done
trying to read it.
I did a page in the Sun about 3 years ago.
I reckon you've had that book for
4
at
years.
least 4 years.
Yeah.
And
I took a book to Dubai with me and
how'd that go?
Didn't read it.
What book was it?
Crime and Punishment.
Oh man, come on. I mean, if you haven't read a book in years, don't start with Crime and Punishment.
Since I've had a smartphone, I've not read one book.
That's insane.
I bet book reading took a big dip when smartphones come out.
Although I know loads of people that still read all the time, and I think it's just, you've got to commit to it. I've definitely fallen out of practice.
Yeah, I don't read shit, man.
But it's hard. It has got harder to read.
Yeah.
I definitely find it harder to read. Like I've started reading a book of short stories by Blind Boy, the podcaster. An ex-comedian. And he writes short stories, and Hannah got me a book of his short stories.
Ex-comedian, what's his name?
His name's Blind Boy. He used to be in the Rubber Bandits, Irish duo.
Oh, I don't know.
Really funny. But he's now got a really,
Do you remember
really...
Boy with a tape on his face?
Yeah.
Is he still around?
Yeah.
What, in Las Vegas or something?
Didn't he franchise it out, though? So there's now other... Like, he franchised out the idea.
What a good business move.
Man, I wish I could franchise out me.
Innit, man?
Save doing gigs. Just be at home.
Collecting that coin. 3 of you doing each glee club.
Yeah, I've got a Carl Donnelly in every glee this weekend. Just with an earpiece. I'm at home on a mic. They'll
be doing AI fucking soon, like projecting you on stage.
But will people go to that?
Don't know, like a Beyonce concert.
I don't think people would go. I genuinely think there's certain things will never fully work.
Yeah, because you want to be in their presence, don't you?
Yeah, especially like in the UK, man. Like Britain, people love just going out and having a beer and watching some comedy.
Yeah,
that's what I love about this. Like,
and
that's what I love about this
on.
country. But no, what?
And we're losing it.
Is the fact that people just go out and see. Like, people go to comedy clubs, they don't know who's on.
Do they not do that in other countries?
I don't think as much. I mean, there
what
are.
About Australia?
But it does. It does happen, obviously. But like, I do think other countries, like, what I noticed definitely in Melbourne. I suppose not. There's one club I think that doesn't list their lineups, which I think is great. But there's the other clubs tend to have.
Top Secret doesn't sometimes, does it? Yeah.
There's other clubs in Australia I notice always have like advertising the headliner, and it needs to have some credits and a name to it. I think people want to go and see somebody who's either been on telly or whatever.
That they know, yeah.
Whereas here, you'll go to like a Glee or whatever, the Comedy Store, and it'll just be like no one. Like, there'll be a lineup, not a single person in the audience knows any of them.
Yeah.
They'll just go. It'll be full, 400 people, whatever, in a room.
Do you think that's changing a little bit with the Apollo and people want?
I don't think. You'd think it would. I'd say it probably does in certain.
Well, the Apollo's kind of
gigs.
lost its kind of power a bit, hasn't it?
Definitely,
because it's been on for so long, I guess.
And just viewing figures aren't what they were.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's not the old days. Remember like the old days when like...
Flanagan, John Bishop.
Yeah, those guys that did it, like a primetime Saturday show, it was probably getting 5-6 million.
Now it's like 500,000, I think.
I think probably, and then it probably does better on iPlayer and that, but like I just don't think it's got the, the weight it used to have. Yeah, I just don't think, people just like watch telly like they used to, innit?
Yeah, it's because you got like Netflix and all of the other ones.
Well, that's it. I remember do you remember when like McIntyre's Roadshow started? That was like the only stand-up on telly.
Yeah.
So like all them people that were on it, like
people would tour on the back of it, wouldn't they?
Because like people
do a 5-minute set and sell a tour out.
Well, I remember with
Or
like,
even Mark the Week.
I remember like with like Kevin Bridges. Do you remember like, I remember just doing glees and stuff with him, and we'd be gigging together. He'd started out a little bit before me.
I never gigged with him actually.
And he was just quality. And then I just remember like we were doing our debut Edinburgh shows together. Like 2009, we were both doing our debut shows, and it was probably like May or something in the run up to the Fringe. And then he just did McIntyre's Roadshow, and like next thing his whole Edinburgh sold out, and then he went on Jonathan Ross's chat show. And then literally by the end of Edinburgh, he was just a household name.
And that was McIntyre's he did,
I think it was McIntyre's Roadshow, yeah. And I just remember it being so funny. Like we were just gigging together, just normal gigs. And then within about 3 months, he was literally just like a national
I had that
treasure.
with Jack Whitehall as well.
I remember. Yeah,
you
I
must have
remember
gigged with him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so Jack did his debut show the same year as me as well, and Kevin. Like, so it's 2009. So the best newcomer nominations were Jack Whitehall, Kevin Bridges, Johnny Sweet, who's now a TV producer, and like
I know that name.
He was
yeah.
really good, Johnny, and Pete Johansson and me. So I'd say me and Pete have really let the slide down there. You know what I mean? The others have really gone on to big things, but you'd never, I remember like.
I remember doing a 10 spot with Jack Whitehall at the Backyard, and we both did really well, and then walked back to the Tube, and then like about 3 months later, he's like conquering Hollywood.
Did you ever see him when he was really new and he was very different? His style was really different.
I saw him the first time I saw him. It must have been 2006, maybe.
Yeah, so he would have probably still been pretty like.
He
was
had
much
a
more
really
deadpan.
ranty, fast talking.
Oh, that would have been.
And he'd do an impression of like a posh rude boy, and
because he was very deadpan for a bit when I first
didn't
saw
see him then,
I did a
no.
gig at Manchester Uni. I was really new, and I went up and did Manchester Uni. I think he was at Manchester Uni.
yeah, because he said he was going to get me gigs there or something.
Right, and he was quite deadpan.
So I'll have to chase him up about that.
Hey, mate, but just.
Do you still book that the student union?
But he was sort of Stuart Lee-esque when he was really new.
I think he had a big influence on our kind of generation, didn't he? Stuart Lee.
Stuart Lee, yeah, definitely.
There was so many Stuart Lee.
When I started, like, because you see it
People.
every sort of like 5 years, there's a shift in it. Like when we started,
Like
it was all
Acaster
Stuart
now,
Lee.
I guess.
Acaster definitely.
Or the
is.
last like few years.
I'd say Acaster's had a big. I've noticed quite a few Phil Wang types.
Oh really? Yeah.
Phil, because
It's
Phil's
bit
got a really
racist.
distinct way of talking.
Yeah.
And I think there's quite a lot of newer people now that are sort of got a little Wang.
A little
vibe.
wang twang.
And but who else was it? I mean, Bill Burr's had a massive one. I always see a lot of like comics more from the north. I don't know why. A lot of like the sort of northwest circuit. I see a lot of Bill Burr.
He's like a
cadence.
lot of people's like idol, isn't he?
Yeah, but some of us just
I always had
Chart our own course.
Louis C.K. in my head, like always. I don't know, like my inspiration a bit. I guess when I
for the stuff he
started,
does in dressing rooms.
yeah, just the wanking. But
he's just your hero for that, man.
Obviously,
him, Weinstein, all the big guns for you.
but you wouldn't know that from what I do, what he does.
No.
You know what I mean? But he was in my head.
Okay.
Even my subject matters a little bit at the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He talks about his kids, so I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know who influenced me. I think
Probably me.
influenced me to get better. So I wasn't how much you were dying on stage. I thought if he could do it, fucking hell, mate.
Influenced me not to watch you on stage.
I think mine was like.
Andrew Maxwell, actually, before I'd started,
Oh, yeah.
he was a big influence on me, massive influence. Just
yeah.
to thinking that this is a job, watching him at Jongleurs and thinking, this is a job.
He's making this like work.
This is what time's lunch? But he just smashed the room apart, man, with all his old like London accent, all this
I
kind of
saw
mainstream
Maxwell
stuff.
was one of the first people I ever saw do an hour-long show.
Yeah,
I went to the Fringe before I'd started out. This was like 2004, and I went up to the Fringe with my ex, and I remember going to see Andrew Maxwell at I think it was like it's a theatre, it's a venue that isn't there anymore. It's like I don't know what it is now. It used to be. It was an old cinema. They turned it into this really cool Edinburgh venue, and it was just down Nicholson Street. And I went to see Maxwell because I'd seen him at a late gig. I'd seen him at Late and Live or something the night before, and was like, this guy's quality.
Yeah.
Went to see his solo show. It was wicked, but he just did this weird thing where he had 4 chunks of the show, but in between each, so he'd finish a routine, and then he'd get on a tiny little kid's tricycle and just ride it over to one corner and then do the next bit and then ride the little trike. It was really weird, but it was really funny. But I remember like seeing him do an hour and being like, fuck man, that was like just hearing somebody to be able to talk for an hour so easily and just funny and charismatic.
Yeah, I thought that.
So he was definitely, I'd say he was an influence.
He definitely influenced me to start stand-up in a way.
Yeah. Do you know, I'd say the person for me is like the patient zero, the person I saw. That was the moment I think a little spark went, do this, was Addy van der Boer.
Oh, yeah, in the Banana Cabaret.
Yeah, like that was like, it was
Great
weird.
gig.
I grew up watching Billy Connolly, who was my favourite. And then, and yeah, I just remember and just seeing Addy and being like, he's making it look so fun that it just made me
I haven't
think,
seen him
how
in
much
years,
fun would
man.
that be? I weirdly bumped into him in Covent Garden. Can't remember when, but yeah, last time I saw him was just in the street and we had a really lovely catch up. Let's do a question. Would either of you like to be in a sitcom? Also, what sitcom in the present or past would you love
Game
to star
On.
in? Oh yeah, Game On. I'd like to be in a sitcom. But although I will
Friends.
say, I would acting wise.
I'd like to be in Louis sitcom. Have you
I've
seen
never
that?
seen it. No. Oh no, I've seen bits.
I sound like
actually,
a right
yeah.
Louis fanboy.
Yeah, right, mate, turn it down. I'd much rather do serious acting than
Peep
comedy
Show's
acting.
good, innit? I was
Peep
watching
Show's
that
fucking wicked, man.
the other day. So good.
I think and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I know.
Oh, man, yeah.
But like in terms of fun, they look like they have. I've
That'd
seen
be
loads of outtakes.
Yeah,
and and also you see it in the show. They leave it in. There's always bits where you can catch the camera cut just before one of them cracks up. Like
I like that roughness of it.
yeah. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Curb Your
Yeah.
Enthusiasm would be really fun because it's semi-improvised, isn't it? So you just do the thing. And that was fucking loud, them knuckle cracking, mate.
Sorry, man.
But no, in acting terms, I'd much rather do serious acting.
I think so, yeah.
I don't...
I think I'd sooner do something really heavy.
Because I've seen too many, and this is no names, or this isn't even aimed at them. I can't even think who I'm talking about. But, over the years, I've seen so many British sitcoms, and
Just be shit.
well, just where they just put a comedian in it who's not really a good actor, and they're just sort of playing themselves, and it ends up being a bit shit. Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
comedy acting's way harder than,
I think actors do it better than comedians.
Definitely, and I think comedians tend to lend themselves to more serious acting.
Like a Shakespearean actor would probably do it better.
Yeah, because it's almost with comedy acting, the more seriously you do it, it's funnier, innit?
Exactly, yeah, definitely.
So I would like to be in a sitcom, but I'd much rather be in a really hard drama.
I used to love the Naked Gun films. They were good,
Brilliant.
weren't they?
Well, like Leslie Nielsen,
Aren't they making another one?
They made it with Liam Neeson in the Leslie Nielsen sort of role.
Ah, he'd be good, actually.
I think he would be good.
Because he's that's what I mean about the actor.
Well, that's it. Leslie Nielsen did it so seriously.
Yeah.
That was the joke. Have you ever seen him in interviews?
Nice beaver.
Have you ever seen Leslie Nielsen in interviews?
No,
Obviously, I think he's dead now. But he used to always carry a fart machine with him. So in an interview, he'd be doing a really serious thing about sort of the process of being in a film, and you just hear, and he'd do it just to fuck the interviewer
so
up.
stupid.
He was just so silly, man. Right, let's do this.
I might do that.
What is this? You're in a room 5 meters by 5 meters. This is from Josh. Pitch black with a hamster, and every second you make £5. But if the hamster touches you, you're brown bread. How long are you willing to risk it for the biscuit? If the hamster touches you,
I mean, I wouldn't do it if I'm going to be dead.
no, those stakes are a bit high there.
I'd just say nah.
Every second, £5 though. Surely, if you stomp, the hamster
So
isn't going
there's
to come at
60
you.
seconds.
If you stamp your feet, that hamster ain't going to come anywhere near you.
All right, 60 times.
So
So that's
5
£300 a minute.
Yeah. I reckon I'll do 10 minutes, stamp my feet, and just get out of there.
What, to risk your life for like £1,000?
I know you put it like that. I suppose there is issues.
Unless you did like a week in there.
No, you're right. But then I don't think the hamster would touch you if you were stamping your feet. and screaming.
Yeah, you'd have to do that the whole time without sleep.
Just
I wouldn't bother.
Nah, I'd do an hour. How much would I get for an hour?
I'd do like 4 hours for 5 mil. $1 million an hour, I think, is a fair one. If you're going to die.
All right,
is Josh funding this?
I don't know. Let's do this.
I'll do it for $1 million an hour.
Why do people keep asking questions just to dig out comedians? You're stuck on a spaceship going to the moon with one comedian. Who's the worst one it could be?
I think you've said his name already.
Oh, right, okay. I'm trying to think which one it was. But
you did Edinburgh shows at the same time.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I love him. I love that. Just yes, people.
We'll have to get him on.
I know.
We'll have to get him on.
But who'd be the worst one? But it's there's different reasons for that. You could have somebody who's mental, and that would be annoying. You could have someone who just talks non-stop.
Or just too
nice,
neurotic, or I don't know, just a panicker, or like, shut up, man.
Exactly. Like I've probably got mates that I wouldn't want it to be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So that's a hard one to answer.
that situation's a horrible one anyway, and it going to the moon.
Yes.
For the first time.
Well, it can't be done, can it? Can't go back and get it.
Just go into the film studios with Kubrick.
Yeah. How long does it take to get to the moon? If it did, hypothetically, if
it takes never. I don't know. It's Mars is 1 million miles away.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's crazy. I can't get my head around it. That they sent a robot to the Mars and it's going around with a camera testing stuff.
Yeah.
But how can they operate a robot 1 million miles away?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person, mate.
I think it's fucking nuts.
I don't know. Is it? So what is it like? But is it controlled from here, or is it like a little AI?
It's controlled from here,
right?
And it can pick samples up, analyze them. Like, it's obviously high tech.
Yeah. It's not sort of fucking remote control car.
It's probably worth £1 billion, but they sent it to the Mars, which are 1 million miles away. Australia's 12,000 miles.
They can send radio signals. Like, they do that thing.
Through space, though.
What's that thing where there's that big thing they send out? They're almost like trying to contact if there are other life forms. They send a beacon out, don't they, through space? You can send radio waves and signals.
Well, there is that thing in Congress. I don't know why it isn't all over the papers, but they're like the Air Force and all the top guys are being interviewed about ETs, extraterrestrials that they've had contact with and stuff. Why is that not fucking major news?
But then would that not slightly undermine believing that we can't go to the moon? If you think aliens have come here, it can be done, obviously, can't it? Right?
But I don't think they're necessarily like a physical being, like in our, ideas of what an alien is.
What do you think an alien is?
I think it's more of a, I don't know.
Just a ghost.
Yeah, more of like a, you connect with them on a different level, like a consciousness.
So what are Congress talking about? Aren't they talking about UFOs?
I think so. I should shut up. I've got very strong opposite opinions.
Oh man, because that's what because like surely if there's aliens that have come to Earth and all this Roswell stuff they always talk about.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah.
So there's people that say that we've got alien technology.
So glad we don't smoke weed, man.
Oh my god, we'd be the worst.
We'd be already screaming our opinions, man, with a vein coming out of our head.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm dumb enough without it, mate. But what I'm saying is, like, people think we've got alien technology, right? Because aliens have come and crashed.
Yeah,
and that's what the American government are hiding.
Area 52.
So if we've got alien technology, then surely that would suggest we would have the technology to go to the moon.
Not necessarily. We're examining, and we've got their technology we're looking at, and it's nothing that we have in this world.
Right.
Like a certain metal or something like that. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't mean we could skateboard to the moon.
It feels like we've either got the technology or we ain't, is what I mean. It's like I just feel like there's a weird sort of disconnect between the fact
Yeah.
that some people think aliens have been coming here forever, and we've got their technology because they crashed here in
I
whatever the
feel like
40s.
sometimes like aliens or like ETs inhabit people. It's like that thing. You ever meet someone like like that? They call them NPCs, non-player characters. Have you seen Jumanji?
Jumanji?
Jumanji, rather.
Have you seen Jumanji?
Like they call them, like in GTA or like computer games, there's NPCs, which are somebody who's just got templates to say, welcome to the cafe, but they're a non-player character.
Yeah.
It's all over social media. They call people NPCs to like insult people.
Oh, right.
But it's quite, when you meet someone and you're like, are you an alien that's gone into a human and forgot you're an alien and you're just trying to act like a human?
You mean just weird people?
Yeah. I sometimes do think there's no way, like, I don't know the chemical makeup of their brain.
I feel like you're misdiagnosing autistic people.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's got autism, you're like, are you an alien? Yeah, that's funny. What's this question from Martin? Would you agree that Wallace and Gromit probably didn't actually go to the moon? Oh, God, why does everyone keep asking about the fucking moon? And also, it's definitely not made of cheese.
I just think the jury's out on it for me, whether we did or we didn't.
Right.
I think,
seeing as we might as well just keep talking about conspiracies, I saw one last week about Rick Rubin. Do you know Rick Rubin? The
music producer. I like his stuff.
Well, he's obviously been a seminal part of some of the most, the most amazing.
From Bob Dylan to fucking Jay-Z.
He's done this sort of Kanye. He's really
Kanye.
With I listened to a podcast about Yeezus, Kanye's album, and in it he talks about how the album was like chaos, and he had like 2 weeks until it had to be finished. And Rick Rubin came in, and he said what Rick Rubin did isn't producing. He says the one line is he's not a producer, he's a reducer.
Yeah.
He said he came in and Rick Rubin just stripped it out, and it ended up being this sort of incredible album. Like
Rick Rubin can't play any instrument, can't read music.
Yeah.
But he says that his skill is having good taste.
Yes.
And just picking it, like when he was with Jay-Z and that, I got 99 Problems. He just had an idea for the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
And they just implemented it, and it was like, wow.
Yeah, but there's a conspiracy.
Might get him to direct my Edinburgh show.
Just come out rapping. There's a conspiracy that he's like a CIA operative. And actually, the reason he gets to work with all these people is because he's like they control him. It's where are you on this one? Where'd you
I think
stand?
that's bullshit.
Let's have a look. I want to look at sort of new conspiracies, because it's that weird thing. I'm fascinated by them.
JFK moon landings.
Because they're all the big.
I'm on board a little bit with those ones.
The big one is the Great Reset. Is the current one everyone's talking about.
What's that? COVID.
So COVID. I can't really get my head around it, like what people are believing or saying, but basically, it's about this World Economic Forum, and apparently they control everything.
So it was designed to test if they could control everybody.
Yeah, so that's what
get everyone vaccinated.
COVID vaccine. It's all about control, and it's all about one world government, and it's that old one, the Illuminati. Essentially, it's just a new version of the Illuminati, I think.
Okay, yeah, the New World Order kind of thing.
Yeah. It shifts every 10 years or so, doesn't it, to a new version? But like this World Economic Forum is the one that they reckon, it's going to be like. I've seen people saying like Rishi Sunak. The reason they called an elections, he's been basically told to step down by the WEF, and they want Starmer in now. So that's why this is.
Who's
happening.
WEF? World
Economic Forum.
Ah.
So they've been apparently it's Starmer's like, all right, get warming up, you're in. So it's all just already written.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad surprised. It's believable.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Let's listen.
I think I don't know. That's the bottom line.
Let's just run down some and see where you stand on them. It'd be good just to get your thoughts. See how far down the rabbit hole we go. So we've done 9/11. I'm just looking at the Princess Diana's murder. That's a good one.
I mean,
where do you stand on that?
That's possible, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, that would be a really
It's also more than likely it was true what happened.
What a risky way to try and kill someone.
Yeah.
Like the margin of error is so massive.
They could have poisoned. I mean,
she could have had a bloody heart attack. She died in her sleep. There's so many ways it could have been done. I just always think again, it's overcomplicated to say that this
I think it's more than likely that happened how it was reported.
I agree.
I think more than likely 9/11 is as well, but I'm just saying it's possible, isn't it?
Yeah. Subliminal advertising.
That's
one.
true. Probably.
They reckon. Yeah, some people believe that's why. Sometimes you're watching a movie and suddenly you get the munchies, or you're sitting on a sofa and get an urge to buy a new car. That's probably just because you've watched an advert for a car. But people think there's actual subliminal messages coming through rather than just the actual out and out marketing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they might have tried that at some point, but would that be legal?
No, that's why it's a conspiracy.
Oh, yeah. If it's I don't know. They probably tried that before it wasn't illegal straight away, was it?
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know. Does it work? Have you ever seen there's the ones in Fight Club, isn't there? The little snippets where things like sort of sexual images pop up on the screen.
Is there?
They're incredibly short, but you actually do notice them.
I wonder why I was horny. I thought it was just Bradley.
But yeah, you can see them. They pop up. It's part of the idea of the film.
I think I got them in my eyes anyway.
you got them painted on the back of your eyelids.
Every time I blink,
just a pair of tits there. This is one of my favourite ones. Paul McCartney's death.
That's bullshit.
That is definitely bullshit.
That's definitely bullshit.
Have you seen the pictures? Because they show pictures of this was him, and then a year later, this is what he looked like.
People are wasting their time. Shut up, man.
It's just he literally just had a haircut.
Well, Michael Jackson was murdered.
Oh yeah.
Michael Jackson wasn't a pedo either. Maybe.
Oh right. Okay.
My jury's out on that a little bit as well. I don't know. He was definitely a weird guy.
Yes.
Maybe he preferred children as mates. I mean, he's definitely a weird guy.
Yeah.
He was but who knows, man?
Chemtrails. Where are you on chemtrails?
What are they again? They're in the sky.
In the sky. This is why I think my brother's big
spraying
into chemtrails.
People.
Yeah, so it's all when you see all them lines across the sky from planes. There's the conspiracy says it's chemicals they're spraying us with.
I think that's bullshit.
Well, I think it's bullshit because why would you? They'd be spraying themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like if like the Prime Minister is in on a conspiracy, as it probably would be, them chemtrails are going over Downing Street.
But they would say that it's above the Prime Minister, though.
But
the Prime Minister's a mere puppet.
Everywhere, whoever's doing it, they still live on the earth.
Yeah, like they're sharing the same air as us.
Why would they be chemtrailing themselves?
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems a bit basic, doesn't it?
And what would they be? What are the chemicals as well?
I don't know. And why would they do it from the sky? Why couldn't they do it in our water?
Yeah, probably because our water's full of shit now. Have you heard about that? The fecal matter. That's not even a conspiracy. That's all the thing about Thames water and all the shit being pumped into streams.
Thames water got the monopoly on water and they still fucked up.
Yeah, they're going bankrupt. Literally,
That's
the only
crazy.
company. The only company that provide water. We have to get it from them. It's the
and
easiest business
most of the
model on
earth is water.
And somehow they've managed to fuck that up. I think that is,
they should be fired. Everyone at the top.
That should be that should be used as the argument for
privatizing water,
bringing it back into the public ownership. You know what I mean? That should be a government-owned utility.
Oh, the opposite to privatising.
Yeah. So it was privatised, and now it's fucked. That's the exact the trains. You look at the trains; they're all fucked because. There's so many companies now vying for it, and every time they get a contract, it's almost like they can't lose the contract nowadays.
I'd have thought trains would be better if companies were competing prices again, but they got the monopoly on journeys, haven't they?
Yeah, and it's almost like LNER are so shit, but they keep getting their contract renewed. You know what I mean? It's like it's just
probably all backhanders and government mates and stuff.
Let's quickly run through these. Earth is flat is the next one on the list.
I think the Earth's round.
Okay. You fucking sheep.
I think it's a sphere. It's probably not perfectly round those. It's probably a little bit oblong. Yeah.
You think it's like a dildo?
But I think for that to be real, then every pilot employed would have to be in on it, and I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. I think, I mean, again, that is one that I think just the amount of people that would have to be in.
And we would have, I mean, videos of the edge, wouldn't we?
Well, it should be, that's the thing, like, I just think it's too big a conspiracy.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit.
You know, and there's certain, like,
and all their theories as well fall down pretty quickly, don't they?
And, you know, there's things like constellations that you can only see from the Northern Hemisphere, and there's the ones you can only see in the Southern Hemisphere, like the Southern Cross. Like, you can't see the Southern Cross
and you
the
can
Northern
see
Hemisphere.
the moon from here that's round as well, another planet.
Yeah, and all the other planets you can look at through telescopes.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it'd be weird that we're the only flat one.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Like,
and you can go round the world, can't you?
Yeah. There is that as
You'd fall off the edge.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, man.
COVID deaths. This is one.
I mean, there was a fact about COVID deaths that, you know, things were put down to COVID where people get hit by a car because they had COVID. It would be put as COVID.
Yeah, it was getting a few. Like, my dad's death got put down to COVID, and like, but he had COPD. His lungs were fucked.
That's what I mean.
And like, he did have COVID when he went into hospital, but like, you know, he definitely didn't die of COVID, but they put it on the, like, and that's not me saying for any conspiracy. Like, it was put down to COVID.
But without COVID,
else.
would he have lasted it even a week longer? Maybe.
But like, he was so ill with his COPD, and he was so frail.
Because
they
have to put
6 months.
something on death certificates. Like, my dad's was pneumonia, but it wasn't pneumonia. I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, pneumonia is on most death certificates, probably.
Yes, isn't it the biggest killer of old people?
That's like the final thing, maybe.
But like, so like, my dad at that point, he was so frail and ill that, like, you know, if he sneezed, he would have fucking died. You know what I mean? But I felt like they gave COVID the points that it didn't really deserve.
The credit.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that with COVID. Like, in America, someone could get hit by a motorbike, die if they had COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm exaggerating. Have a little Google, people.
All right, let's do one more and then we'll wrap it up. Health authorities are hiding natural cures.
Possibly, yeah. There's a lot of money in treatment, isn't there?
Yeah.
I think I'm open to that.
It's that thing. I definitely think, obviously, there's more money in pharmaceuticals than there are in natural remedies, but I think some people go too far into the natural remedies.
Yeah.
You know, the people that are
you
like,
still have antibiotics. If I've got a
cancer.
chest infection, I'm going to have them.
Well, yeah, there's certain things. I do think you have to be like, you know, when somebody's like, oh, you've got a serious virus or something, like, you know, just have a bit of Manuka.
But where there's money and profit, and there is in pharmaceutical, then there's going to be like corruption and bullshit.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're fucking with people's health, man. It's immoral.
But and when people say, like, obviously they've got a cure for cancer, they just won't release it, and it's like, I don't know, because like, there's so many scientists that go into cancer research.
Yeah.
Their whole life is dedicated to trying to cure cancer. I just think it's really hard to cure.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back next week. And thanks to our patrons.
Thanks, patrons.
And if you want to join Patreon, we're probably on the Patreon section now already, aren't we? If you want to leave Patreon,
then you just click leave.
We're the only podcast doing that, trying to just shed our listenership. But yeah, we'll be back next week. And thanks for joining us on our first visit to this studio. And bye, everybody.
We love you.